Hey there, history buffs. So, I'm about to tell you about the fascinating piece of Knoxville's past when it comes to the Mason Lodges for Afro Americans coming up in the 1800s and 1900s. My hometown, nestled in the valley of the Appalachian in Tennessee, holds a hidden gem on the hill of Keith Avenue, the Halltown Cemetery. Back in the day, this cemetery was not just any burial ground, it was the final resting place for members of the Southern Chain Lodge, the indigenous Afro American chapter of the Odd Fellows Fraternal Organization. These secret societies offered various kinds of insurance, including burial plans as amenities for members. Halltown Cemetery, originally known as Halltown Cemetery, was organized around 1910. Though it was established in the late 1800s, it saw the most activity from the early to mid 20th century. For almost a century, melanated indigenous Americans from all around Knoxville were buried here, including many prominent community leaders like teachers, doctors, and authors. My grandmother told me before she died that her dad, Mr. Hall, was buried in Halltown at this cemetery. He was a baseball player that played for the Smokies in Knoxville. He was also a part of the Odds Fellow Society and owned many properties. His wife, my great-granny, was an Eastern Star conductress, Martha, who wore a 5-pointy star with scroll and baton in the center. Her daughter, my granny Cat Hall, was also a worthy patron who wore a 5-pointed star with square and compasses in the center. My granny Cat also a part of the Elks Lodge. When she died, she had a sacred ritual done over her body. Now, let's get back to the Odd Fellows gravesite. The Odd Fellows had a historic command: visit the sick, relieve the distressed, bury the dead, and educate the orphan. Another iconic Afro-American that is buried in this cemetery is Calvin Johnson. Caledonia, or Calvin Fackler Johnson, October 14, 1844, April 7, 1925, was an American businessman and philanthropist, active primarily in Knoxville, Tennessee in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. He rose to become a prominent Knoxville racetrack and saloon owner, and by the time of his death was one of the wealthiest African American businessmen in the state. He also owned several thoroughbred racehorses, one of which captured world speed record in 1893. Being a part of this society meant actively helping your community and striving to make the world a better place. They believed that through rituals, symbols, and degrees, they could elevate and improve the character of mankind. By embracing these lessons, members aspired to become better individuals, thereby improving the world around them. My elder friend shared with me that the Halltown Cemetery is now under the care of the police department. Unfortunately, it hasn't been maintained like other historical cemeteries in Knoxville. It's a sobering reminder of how easily history can be overlooked. So next time you're in Knoxville, take a moment to visit Keith Avenue. You might just find yourself standing on a little known piece of our rich history. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, history is everywhere. You just need to know where to look. Until next time, keep exploring.